What is going on, everyone? It's GeneralTarheel bringing you an APA Season 7 video. Today we have a video for our free agents and trade that we made after Week 3 facing the New York Cosmogs. I just wasn't comfortable with my team. I felt like I needed to make a few changes. The main problems I felt like were in my defensive core. I felt like it just was not enough bulk, nor was it reliable. So I definitely wanted to get something that was more helpful with that. And maybe a little bit more offense. Not sure what, but I just felt like I was using Pokemon that I were too comfortable with, but they didn't exactly synergize well. Latios and Klefki definitely have good typings with one another, but I don't think they synergize well, technically. I mean, it works well for me in the SDL, but with the rest of my team, it's just not working. So I decided to make FAs for Latios, Klefki, and Suicune, and I traded out Donphan. So it started off, the first thing I made was the free agent for Latios, and I dropped Latios for Garchomp. This was a great investment in my opinion, because Garchomp is very strong and very versatile. It's just a very good Dragon Ground type. Only 4 times weak to Ice, and then only weak to Dragon and Fairy for the others. We do unfortunately lose the Defogger when we lose Lottie, and we lose a Levitate user as well as a good speed tier. But just looking at Garchomp, it's got a nice base 108 HP, not even bad. Very strong base 130 attack. And then it's got that nice base 102 speed, which just outspeeds the base 100s like the Pixie Pokemon like Mew and them. And then he outspeeds Staraptor, I think, and then as well as Zapdos, stuff like that, which is very helpful because 100 is like the mark for speed. Like anything above that is where it's more helpful. But doesn't beat Lottie's 110, but I feel like Garchomp will do better for me. It gives me another Stealth Rocker. And it's just a very strong Pokemon I've been waiting to use in League format. And when I saw the opportunity this time, I felt like this would be good. I was debating between this and Zygarde 50%. But once I realized I'm getting more bulk on my other FAs and trade, then I'm not going to actually get more bulk when I can get offense in Garchomp instead of Zygarde. Because Garchomp does have that better speed, the higher attack, and Stealth Rocks. But of course Zygarde does have the slightly better bulk and 1,000 arrows, which is very helpful. That was a first void craft for the FA. But move coverage, he's going to be amazing Z user because we dropped Lottie for Z move, so Garchomp has to be Z move. We got Aqua Tail, Brick Break, Fire, yeah, that's Fire, Water and Fighting coverage. We got Crunch, run Draco Meteor if I want to run a special set, which normally you see on maybe Mega Chomp, not so much regular Chomp. Dragon Claw, Dragon Tail, which is helpful. We got Hazards and Rocky Helmet and stuff like that, and Rough Skin is what I really meant. It would add up. The powerful Earthquake that will be running like every week, of course. Fire coverage for any pesky steel types, like Forretress and stuff. Bug Steel, like Scizor. That's what I meant. Then we got Iron Head and Poison Jab for the annoying fairies. The strong Outrage in case we are like a Scarf set or we just get outspeed and we can just sweep a team. Got nice Roar in case I want to do more coverage, even though we'd probably be looking at Dragon Tail so we can't get the damage. But Roar was also be helpful. The beautiful Stealth Rocks that we mentioned, as well as the Rock Coverage and Stone Edge. And then we get Swords Dance in case I want to baton pass speed into Garchomp, and then I can SD with it from that point, and then, everything's probably dead by then. So Garchomp is a reliable Pokemon that's very versatile. There can be offensive, bulky, or even special if need be. Good Scarfer, can run Rocky Helmet with its Rough Skin, can run Leftovers, can run a Yachi Berry in order for it to take the Hidden Power Ice. Someone's probably packing for it. It's a very reliable Pokemon. I'm glad I was capable of picking it up. And when we lost Lottie, felt like I wanted to pick up Bulk next, and I did want to get a Psychic type so I could still support Blaziken a little bit. So I went for the bulkiest Psychic type known to man, and that is Cresselia. Just look at this thing's stats: base 120 HP, defense, and special defense. This thing is a wall, and I'm glad I got to pick it up. Basically a replacement for Suicune, even though I did drop Klefki for this thing technically. But definitely a very strong Psychic type with the Levitate ability. So we do lose a Psychic type and Levitate when we drop Latios, but we pick it right back up with Cresselia, which is pretty cool. Has a decent move pool, mainly just looking at it being a reliable bulky Pokemon. Can get a Calm Mind Sweep if you run a defensive Cresselia, which is very common. It can run Energy Ball or Grass Knot for grass coverage. It's got Ice Beam for stuff like the Dragon types, and I also have Moonblast for the Dark types that can counter Cresselia. We got both screens, of course, which is very helpful. And we got Lunar Dance, which is basically like Healing Wish, which is very neato. And then we got Moonlight, which is basically a reliable recovery in order for me to get 50% back. I just hated how Suicune had to have rest. Donphan only gets leftovers, and then Klefki only gets leftovers. It's very pointless. Well, technically they all get leftovers because they all have access to rest, but I wouldn't put it on any of them besides probably Suicune. So that was really annoying. That's why I needed to make some of these FAs. Of course, you got the Psychic and the Side Shock. Side Shock is normally what you want to do when you go into a Calm Mind War or something like that, or you're a Calm Mind Cress. Then we have coverage with Shadow Ball and Signal Beam. T-Wave, which is very helpful. Klefki did have T-Wave, and now we have Cresselia, which still has T-Wave, which is going to be nice for those Ubers, depending on it. It's not Prankster T-Wave like Klefki, but it will still do. And of course, we got like Toxic and Trick. Tricks that would be interesting with Cresselia for 1 week, depending on if they're relying on an item. But Cresselia is bringing very strong bulk, which I needed. Definitely going to be cool. The only downside with trading away Klefki was the Prankster ability. Even though Cresselia still gets Light Screen and Reflect, we lose the Prankster Screens, which is very cool. We lose the Prankster T-Wave. And we do lose a Spiker, even though we still do have Roserade. But Cresselia will definitely do its job, and it's decent support with Mega Blaziken. It helps its Psychic and Ground weakness, which is pretty cool. And, I mean, it could take a hit for just about anything that's kind of afraid of a super effective hit, you know? It actually goes very well with Bisharp, too, which is very nice. And then moving on, I needed to drop Suicune, and I decided I wanted to pick up a Defogger, because we did lose Latios. And I still wanted a nice water type, so we picked up Daddy Piplup, Empoleon here. Water and Steel type, which is very helpful. We lost a Steel and Klefki, and now we got Empoleon. See? Everything's working out with these FAs and trades. But, you know, it's just a grown-up Piplup that's just a little bit worse. No, not really. It's better. But I saw Envy use this in the GBA and really wanted me to use it. It was a very reliable Pokemon. I just wish this thing got Roost. If this thing got Roost, it'd be amazing. Because its typing's good. Its typing's like basic Steel. Except the Fire type weakness is Electric type now. But, you know, 3 weaknesses in Ground Fighting and Electric. It's not even bad. Very nice stats. HP and defense are pretty good. But you're looking at that special attack and the amazing Bulk and Spadef, which is very awesome. And Empoleon just pairs very well with Garchomp. 4 times weakness to ice for Garchomp, 4 times resistance to ice for Empoleon. And then Empoleon resists both Dragon and Fairy for Garchomp, which is pretty awesome. And then Cresselia helps out Empoleon's fighting and ground type weakness, and then, you know, Garchomp helps out with Empoleon's electric type weakness. So that is a nice core right there, even though Garchomp's more of an offensive than defensive mon. But Empoleon's pretty cool. We do have the Defiant ability if I'm not running like just a typical Scald set or Flash Cannon. That's when I would want to run Torrent. Defiant would be if I run like a Swords Dance Aqua Jet or something like that, which would be pretty cool. But like I said, we do have the Aqua Jet for priority. Brick Break, Defog, which is a helpful thing. Do get access to Earthquake. Nice stab Flash Cannon because we'll have that nice base 111 special attack. Yep, 111. Grass Knot, which is helpful. Gets access to the Hydro Pump, of course, for strong damage. Ice Beam in order to hit those Dragon types. Knock Off for any pesky items. Roar in case of any setup mons, or if I just want, you know, them to stack up over rocks and spikes. That'd be pretty cool. The best move in the game, Scald. And then there's our beautiful Stealth Rocks that we're going to be looking to use with either this or Garchomp. And definitely just looking at a pretty decent tank with Empoleon and possible offensive Pokemon. It does only have a base 60 speed, which is kind of unfortunate, but it does have a very strong special attack stat. And if we want to mix it up 1 week and bring the Defiant set with like a Swords Dance, we could probably get a good amount of kills, like with Priority Aqua Jet, or if I Baton Pass speed into Empoleon, that'd be pretty crazy. So, Daddy Pip's definitely going to put in work. That's what I'm feeling like. And lastly, we had Donphan. We didn't need him anymore, so I was looking for some trades. And I found a really good trade that I wasn't so sure if I was interested in first, because I do not enjoy the Pokemon so much, when I face it at least. But it definitely suited the team and gave me more bulk, which is very cool. And we picked up Floriges, Mother Nature here. As you know, I wasn't happy with it in the SDL, and I'm not happy with it, period. It kind of gets annoying, Floriges, but that's because this thing is so bulky. You can just run max HP, max defense, and that Spadef is still off the charts, which is crazy. And it's still got a nice solid special attack at 112. Dude, that's nice. Only if this thing got a slightly better ability, because these things only, the abilities only help it for, like, double battles, which kind of sucky, but Floriges is still a very strong Pokemon. Does get health regen and Wish, of course, Wish Protect, which is a common set, or I can run Synthesis if I want. It gives me Aromatherapy, which is very nice cleric in case I have a burn on Garchomp, Toxic on Cresselia, or anything like that. I can run a Calm Mind set if I feel like it's need to be. Even though I doubt Floriges would mainly just be a defensive cleric with Wish Pass in games. Just get the grass type coverage. Access to Magic Coat for any annoying hazards. The Moonblast that will be likely bringing every week. Psychic in case I need to hit any poison types. And then of course we get the Synthesis that I mentioned, and then there's the Wish. Wish passing with Floriges will be a little bit helpful. I do have things with higher HP than it for sure, but when it's fully invested and we have like Blaziken or Garchomp without any HP investment, that's going to make a difference. Especially when I have like Empoleon. Like, I just need to point this out more about the core. Floriges, Steel, and Poison. Empoleon is a 4 times resistance to Steel and immunity to Poison. This defensive core has a great synergy, and this is what I was looking for in a team, and I'm glad I could pick these up, because hopefully this will make my team better, because I'm tired of getting these like 2-0 wins and 0-2 loss. So hopefully we can actually pick it up this coming week 4, and we can get it moving. I will be taking on Matt Archer and the Tennessee Trevenants. Make sure to check that out. I just want to upload this video because I am changing half a team. I didn't want to go into detail right before battle. It'd be unfair to my opponent to have him wait. But make sure to check that battle out against Archer, as well as my SDL for this week. Make sure to sub, like, share, deuces.